It is the dawn of a new era and, congratulations, you're born as Goku. But don't pop the celebratory confetti just yet, because while most babies get a chance at a peaceful life, you're thrust into a universe where every moment is a battle, every day a trial, and every punch a reminder of an endless, exhausting destiny. Welcome to a life where being the ultimate warrior isn't exactly a blessing, it's a curse. Your story doesn't start in a cozy Earth nursery. No, you were born on planet Vegeta, a brutal world where strength ruled, and kindness was a luxury only weaklings could afford. They called you Kakarot, a name as rough as the scorched battlefields you were destined to roam. From your very first cry, you were marked by fate, a fate that would see you torn from your war-torn home and sent hurtling through space toward an unsuspecting planet called Earth. Little did you know that while your birth promised a future of unimaginable strength and honor, it also came with a weighty curse, an unquenchable thirst for battle, and an insatiable hunger for challenges that would never come easy. Even as an infant, the seeds of destiny were sown, seeds that would sprout into endless battles, relentless training, and a loneliness that no victory could ever erase. Your Saiyan tail, a symbol of raw, untamed power, was both a gift and a bane. It connected you to your savage heritage, but it also made you the target of ridicule and unwanted attention. While other kids played with toys, you were busy learning how to harness an energy that could level mountains. But here's the catch. Every time you thought you'd finally mastered your power, fate threw you another curveball. Imagine this. You're in the middle of an epic sparring match between your buddies, and suddenly your tail, acting on its own primal instinct, knocks over a whole village worth of test dummies. Instead of admiration, you get a lecture on self-control. And that's just the beginning. Every quirk of your Saiyan biology was a double-edged sword, reminding you that the legacy of your people was as much a curse as it was a promise of greatness. Growing up on Earth wasn't the idyllic childhood many imagine. While other kids learned to ride bikes and play video games, you were thrust into a relentless cycle of training and combat. Master Roshi, that eccentric old hermit with a penchant for bizarre challenges, became your mentor. His lessons were harsh, his training regimes brutal, and his sense of humor as twisted as his living quarters. Under Roshi's tutelage, every day was a lesson in pushing your limits. You learned to harness ki energy, perfected the Kamehameha wave, and even managed to transform your anger into raw, explosive power. But here's the bitter irony. With every battle won, every enemy defeated with a single earth-shattering punch, the thrill of victory dimmed a little more. Where was the challenge? Where was the spark that made your heart race? As time marched on, the universe took notice. You became the beacon of hope, the hero who saved Earth from one catastrophe after another. From the rampaging Saiyans to the malevolent Frieza, each enemy seemed more formidable than the last, until you showed up. Every battle, every planet-shaking fight ended with you emerging victorious, often before your opponent could even muster a proper challenge. Yet the glory was bittersweet. The universe cheered, the media spun your victories into myths, and every headline declared you the ultimate savior. But as the accolades poured in, a gnawing emptiness began to set in. What's the point of all this power if every fight is over before it even begins? Every victory was a reminder that your strength came at a cost, the cost of true, meaningful challenge, and the relentless isolation that followed in its wake. In the quiet moments between battles, when the cheers of adoring fans faded into an eerie silence, you were forced to confront the reality of your existence. The power that made you invincible also trapped you in a lonely cage. Friends and allies came and went, each unable to bridge the chasm between your overwhelming might and their own fragile humanity. Vegeta, your eternal rival, was the only one who truly understood the burden, but even his fierce ambition couldn't fill the void inside. You remembered the days when you trained with your son, Gohan, a time when the promise of legacy made you feel something other than empty victory. Those moments of laughter, of shared struggle, were fleeting. Now, even the bond of family seemed overshadowed by the inescapable truth. Your life was a never-ending fight, a series of battles that left little room for genuine joy or connection. The legends that grew around you were as wild as they were unbelievable. Tabloids and fan clubs insisted that in a fit of boredom, you once knocked a rogue asteroid off course, saving an entire solar system from annihilation. Another outrageous tale claimed that you accidentally teleported an entire dimension just by laughing at one of King Kai's jokes. While these stories were entertaining to some, they only deepened the irony of your existence. Each wild rumor, each exaggerated headline underscored a painful truth. You were destined to be larger than life, but that greatness came at the expense of real, tangible challenge. Your strength was mythic, your feats legendary, but where was the genuine thrill of overcoming an adversary who could truly test you? Amid the thunderous applause and endless battles, a quiet loneliness festered within you. You were revered as Earth's mightiest warrior, yet every victory reminded you that there was no foe left that could push you to your limits. The challenge, the pain, the satisfaction of a hard-earned win, all were lost in the blinding glare of your overwhelming power. Your legendary status meant that every conflict was resolved in a flash, a single decisive blow that left the world in awe, but you in a constant state of yearning for something more. The burden of limitless power was not the ability to defeat any enemy, but in the realization that every adversary was a fleeting challenge, a brief spark that quickly burned out, leaving behind only the ashes of indifference. Determined to find a meaning beyond the endless cycle of trivial victories, you plunged deeper into the art of combat. You trained harder than ever, seeking out every legendary master, every forgotten martial art, in hopes of finding a technique or a challenge that could ignite the thrill of true battle. From the sacred halls of King Kai's training grounds to clandestine dojos hidden in the heart of ancient forests, you pushed your body and spirit to the brink. Yet no matter how hard you pushed, the challenge remained elusive. Every new technique, every mastered skill only served as a reminder that you were chasing an ever-receding shadow. With every transformation, whether it was the legendary Super Saiyan or the more obscure forms whispered about in the annals of Saiyan lore, the feeling of invincibility grew. Paradoxically, so did the emptiness. The more you ascended, the further you drifted from the raw, unfiltered pain that once defined the thrill of battle. Being Goku isn't just about raw power and endless battles, it's about living under the weight of a legacy that spans generations. You were raised by Grandpa Gohan, who instilled in you a love for simplicity and a boundless curiosity about the world. You learned the value of kindness, of friendship, and of fighting for a cause greater than yourself. Yet, the legacy of a Saiyan warrior is as brutal as it is noble. Over the years, you watched your friends, your family, and even your rivals transform, evolve, and sometimes fade away, while you remained caught in an endless loop of battles. The universe celebrated you as a hero, but few ever saw the inner struggle, the loneliness of being the one who always had to win, no matter the cost. In the quiet aftermath of each victory, when the roar of the crowd dimmed into silence, you faced the most formidable opponent of all, yourself. Every victory was a double-edged sword, a triumph that reinforced your status as the strongest, yet also deepened the void within. You began to question, what is the point of power if it isolates you from the thrill of genuine challenge? How can a hero find solace when every fight ends before it truly begins? In that quiet confrontation, you realized that the true enemy wasn't the villains you vanquished, it was the relentless cycle of expectation, the burden of a legacy that left little room for growth, and the heart-wrenching loneliness of being perpetually invincible. And so, as the stars begin to pierce the twilight, one burning question lingers in the stillness, a question that challenges the very core of your endless journey. In a life forged by legendary battles and boundless power, is it possible that true fulfillment lies not in victory, but in the quest for a challenge that has yet to be discovered?